Welcome back to Going Off Grid My Way. As you can see, I've got quite the mess. I've talked in my previous videos about getting some trees cut. Needless to say, I took one big section off of this one. It goes all the way up there. It was the biggest piece and the most rotted piece. And I actually got it exactly where I wanted it, on the ground. You can see how rotted this is inside here. It's pretty bad, but it was a good sized piece. I'll put my shoe here for comparison. It's a good sized tree, but this thing went all the way over to that tent and actually took out most of my fence for the duck pen. Just flattened it out. It only bent one pole, but on the way down it did some damage on this tree. Well, you can see that, but there's a bunch of broken branches. So I may be taking one split of that and cutting that down, since there's not much left that's not broken. But as you can see, it landed all the way through here and almost got to the tent. It did lay down one post, but the fence just flattened out. I'm pretty sure it could be straightened right back up. But yeah, I'm left with a little bit of mess. A couple big brush piles and a couple piles of logs. I went over to the neighbors here a little while ago, and I had a chicken that's been sitting on eggs over there in his yard for a couple weeks now. There was a little over a dozen, and I went over there and checked on her, because I've been doing that every day, because she stays out there all night and all day, just sitting on the eggs. And when I get over there, there's broken eggs outside of where she's sitting. So something had gotten into the nest and smashed and ate all but 5 eggs. So I grabbed her and I grabbed the eggs and I stuck the eggs on a little nest in the chicken coop. I'm not quite sure. I don't think she's sitting on them yet. I don't think she realized exactly what I did. It's this one right here, walking around outside the coop. She wasn't too happy when I took her eggs, but I'm pretty sure she'll find them inside the coop and set on them again. So far, she's the only one who's sat on any of the eggs. So we shall see. But yeah, I got 4, 8, 10 left. 10 chickens. Haven't heard anything about the ones the neighbor said he was going to bring over from somebody he knows. So I was really kind of hoping that these 12 or 13 eggs that the chicken was sitting on would hatch. So it doesn't look like that'll happen now. I might get a couple out of the 5. But if not, it wasn't meant to be. I just threw some more feed down, trying to gather them all up. But yeah, it's that one right there with the black on the tail that was sitting. Can't remember exactly what kind that is. So, yeah, it is what it is. I had a feeling it was just a matter of time before something got to him, being outside like that. And not in any kind of fenced-in area. But that's where she wanted to lay. So that's where she laid him. It seemed like every time I take them out of the chicken coop, they didn't want to lay in there anymore. They were laying in the turkey pen, and I took a couple out of there, and then they stopped laying in there. They had a nest outside in the front yard, and I took those, and they stopped laying there. So I've been leaving one or two in the chicken coop, and now they're laying in there. All except for that one. She wasn't laying in there at all. She laid those 12 or 13 eggs and hasn't been laying any since. I'm guessing it's because she's been sitting on the other ones. But yeah. But anyways, since I took that one down, a good portion of that area back there, including the pomegranate tree, is getting a ton of light now. I think if I take this split right here, this back one, it's leaning real far to the right, and I can leave the other two. And then as far as this one goes, I think if I take this one right here, that'll open up enough light, maybe trim some of the bottom branches, because this one right here, it's rotted at the top, and the top's already broke off. But the other part is still in pretty good shape, but the base is rotted out pretty bad. So I'm debating on how I want to do that. I may end up just waiting till the garden is completely done, which from the weather I've been getting, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty soon. So I might just, like I said, take this whole thing down. I mean, you can see where it's all rotted out in the middle. There ain't nothing there. The woodpecker's been pecking holes in it, and it's too rotted to mess with for any length of time. But I'm gonna probably try and lay it right across here. So I'll put some logs on next to these boards so it doesn't smash them too bad. But that seems like it's gonna be the plan. We've been having some cold nights and a lot of rain. As you can see, everything's kind of flattened out. All the vine plants, they're showing some weather, to say the least. I believe these potato plants are probably going to be done here soon. They're all starting to change color. Same thing with the tomato plants. I don't know if any of these are going to change color, but just in here, I mean, you can see there's a ton of tomatoes just in that one spot. Anywhere you look on here, there's a lot of tomatoes. But like I said, nothing has changed color. At least yet. Oh, no, let me take that back. There's one right there that's starting to change, finally. But that's the only one I'm seeing that's changing color. But like I said, there's tons of them in here. And you can see they're all starting to get colored yellow, and they're not doing real good. So I'm not expecting a whole lot like I thought I would get, because just this year's just been real bad. You can see the corn's all they're all tasseled out. I don't know if we're gonna get any little ears or not. This stuff's just a little over, well, just under chest high, some of it. So I don't think we're gonna get anything. I don't know if anybody notices, but there's two different color stalks in here. The darker one's the Indian corn, but yeah, everything. We just had a real good storm all day here, so it's gotten hit pretty bad. And like I said, you can see all the vine plants. They didn't do very well, so I'm not expecting a whole lot. This looks like a whole bunch of little tomato plants popping up right here. Must have got some seeds thrown in or something. But yeah, we had a lot of flowers on all these vines, and I mean, some of these are 10 foot long. I think it was just too little too late. They just weren't getting enough sun. Like I said, I mean, you can see there's not a whole lot of open space here for the sun to get through, and even most of this right here is only opened up now because I took that tree down. So you can see these hang pretty low, and then there's my little tiny tree behind these big monsters, and you can see it just shades it all out. So that did open it up a lot. I expect the weeds and the grass to start filling in back there. But yeah, I think in the next couple days here, the potatoes are going to be done and ready as far as they're going to go. But as far as my second planting goes, nothing came up. I don't know if it was just too late in the season or not. I got tons of flowers and the strawberries, but unfortunately we got a critter getting them. So we're not getting any strawberries. There's some peppers popping up here and there still. This one's got a couple little ones and flowers everywhere. Got a little decent sized one over here. But as you can see, the weather's getting this one too. These 4 pepper plants, 4 of them. This one's got a couple on it. I don't know if you can see that. But those will be going in the house, along with the basil and a couple other things, the other herbs, and that tree because it's a tropical tree. These tomato plants here are done. Cabbage really never really had a chance. I mean, it's still fighting. I'm not gonna pull them yet, but I don't think it's gonna do much. That tomato plant's pretty much done. But and I think most of these little trees are pretty much put themselves down for the winter. This one right here is splits. That's a pear tree. Cucumbers are done. We did have a few of them popping up, but the weather just got to them too quick. Oh, I see my tarp's blowing all over the place and everything's all wet. You can see some of the babies. They're not as shy now. They're still a little bit shy, but they're coming around and starting to realize that I bring the food. So you can see them all being nosy, like, "What do you got? What are you doing?" There's 10 of them in there now. I think most of the babies are out, not all of them. I see 5 babies right now. And then we got 4, so there's still one hiding in there. Yeah, I can see him jumping around inside the hole. Here he comes. But yeah, it's time to clean the cage out. With 10 of them in there, it's filling up pretty quick. But I don't know how well. If you could see all of the hairballs everywhere from the boys here. I know you just want to be on camera. Here, be on camera. See? Yeah. But there's hairballs back there too. So it's about time they're gonna be having another litter here any day now, I would say, if it's not already in there. I haven't seen anything in there yet. They got piles of hair all over the place, so I know it's coming time. I got to get a sign put up so that I can sell some of these bunnies, and I'm gonna put a sign up for eggs. So like I said, I've got so many eggs. I'm I'm almost sick of them now. So I'm gonna start selling a couple here and there. I'll do somebody a dozen or 2 dozen or whatever for a couple bucks. I'm not trying to get rich, but it all helps with the feed and whatnot. They're bedding, so we'll see. I don't expect any litters out of these females. Apparently, we did have them sexed. I think I mentioned this in another video. Was it 9 out of the 11? Or no, there's 7. And Lindsay took 1 to her mother. So it was there's 5 out of the 7 that were supposedly female. So yeah, we're gonna keep. I still got the 5 female and then the 1 male. So we'll see how that works out, if they actually all end up being females like we were told or not. But like I said, we'll have another litter here in any time now. It almost seems like she's gonna be spitting out once every month and a half, 2 months. So if that's the case, I got to get a sign going, because we're gonna have a lot of rabbits really quick. Especially if she does better with this litter than the last one. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Let me know what you guys think. You got any questions? Interested in a rabbit? Want to buy some eggs? Or just share, like, subscribe. It all helps. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed.